Hold on to your seats, Emmerdale fans. Next week, December 16th to 20th, is packed with drama, heartbreak, and jaw-dropping twists you won't want to miss. From Tom's high-stakes trial kicking off just as Belle mysteriously disappears, to Amelia making a life-changing decision to leave the village, and Will's master plan crumbling before his eyes. It's all happening in the Dales, and that's just the beginning. Stick around as we dive into the 12 huge spoilers you need to know for next week's episodes. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the hottest Emmerdale updates, twists, and turns. Let's get started. 1. Tom is rushed to hospital. Chaos erupts in the prison when news breaks that Tom has been rushed to the hospital after an attempt to take his own life. Back in the village, word quickly spreads, leaving everyone shaken. With Tom's court appearance looming, the Dingle family is left questioning whether the trial will proceed, all while rallying around Belle during this harrowing time. 2. Belle spirals. Belle finds herself completely overwhelmed by the situation. The thought of going to court and testifying against Tom feels like an impossible weight on her shoulders. She starts to doubt herself, wondering if speaking out will only make things worse. The fear of being blamed for Tom's actions gnaws at her, leaving her feeling trapped and spiraling into self-doubt. Every scenario she imagines leads her back to the same question: is she strong enough to go through with this? It's clear she's struggling to hold herself together as guilt and fear start to take over. Desperate for clarity, Belle decides to visit Paddy, hoping he can help her untangle the mess of emotions she's dealing with. But even as she opens up to him, there's a nagging worry that she might leave the conversation even more confused. What she really wants is someone to reassure her, to tell her she's doing the right thing, but with emotions running high, it's not clear if Paddy's advice will bring her peace or push her further into turmoil. Belle is searching for answers, but it's starting to feel like no one, not even herself, knows what the right choice is. 3. Charity visits. Charity breaks into Tom's hospital room for a surprise visit and confronts him. Urging him to admit that his suicide attempt was fake, Charity hopes an admission of deception will derail the court. However, Tom soon realizes that Charity's arrival must mean that Belle is having doubts about her testimony. 4. Belle disappears. On the day of the court case, Belle leaves her family a note and disappears. The Dingles spring into action, while Tom is preparing to give his best performance in court. The barrister admits that, without Belle, it will be a struggle to convict Tom. When the smug abuser realizes Belle hasn't turned up, he's pleased to see his hard work has paid off. The jury gathers and Tom takes center stage as the trial begins. 5. Amelia leaves the village. After experiencing Tom's true colors, Amelia decides she wants a fresh start away from the village. Amy throws her a last-minute leaving party, but Amelia is heartbroken when Kerry doesn't show up. Will she leave the village without saying a proper goodbye to the woman who was her surrogate mum for so many years? Meanwhile, Daz Spencer returns for one episode as part of Amelia's exit story. 6. Dawn gets good news. Kim is absolutely thrilled when Dawn agrees to be part of her and Will's vow renewal. It's a huge moment for her, and you can tell how much it means to Kim to have Dawn there for such an important day. But what really makes her heart soar is Dawn's decision to move back to home farm. For Kim, it's more than just a house, it's about rebuilding those family ties. And having Dawn back feels like things are finally falling into place. After everything they've been through, this feels like a fresh start and a chance to bring everyone closer together. As if that wasn't enough good news, Dawn gets an update from the doctor that's bound to lift her spirits even more. There's a possibility Evan could be home in time for Christmas. For Dawn, this is the best gift she could ask for. The idea of spending the holidays together as a family brings a sense of hope and excitement she hasn't felt in a while. It's a moment where, for once, things seem to be going right, and the future looks a little brighter for both Dawn and Kim. 7. Will worries his plan is failing. Will's carefully laid plans start to crumble when Kim drops a bombshell. She's invited the entire family to their vow renewal. This isn't what he wanted at all, and it's clear he's scrambling to figure out his next move. The idea of having so many people around, especially those who might catch on to his true intentions, leaves him feeling trapped. His anxiety only grows when Kim mentions that Dawn, Billy, and the kids are thinking about moving back into home farm. For Will, this is the last thing he needs. The thought of having them so close puts his scheme at serious risk, and he knows he needs to act fast to keep things under control. When Dawn actually shows up with her belongings, ready to move in, Will can't hide his panic. He tries everything he can to stop her, but it's obvious he's struggling to keep his true feelings in check. For Dawn, this is about reconnecting and starting fresh, but for Will, it feels like the walls are closing in. The more he tries to resist, the more suspicious his behavior might look to those around him. It's a delicate balancing act, and Will is teetering dangerously close to losing control of the situation entirely. 8. Billy puts his foot down. Dawn's plans for a happy reunion at home farm are all squashed when Billy refuses to move back in. But when Jai puts pressure on them to move out of Holdgate within the week, Billy still refuses to go back to home farm. 9. Aaron and John confess their feelings. Aaron isn't exactly thrilled when John surprises him with a camping trip. Let's be real, camping isn't everyone's idea of a good time, and Aaron clearly isn't feeling it at first. But as the trip goes on, the setting gives them the space to talk and open up in a way they haven't before. Out there, away from all the distractions, they start to let their guards down. Those emotional walls that Aaron tends to keep up, they slowly start to crack, and for the first time in a while it feels like he's allowing himself to really connect. What truly changes the mood, though, is when John makes a heartfelt gesture, one that takes Aaron completely by surprise. It's not over the top or flashy, but it's meaningful, and it shows just how much John cares. In that moment, everything clicks. The pair share an honest and emotional conversation, and before they know it, they're confessing their love for each other. It's a turning point for both of them, a moment that solidifies their bond and makes all the awkwardness of the camping trip totally worth it. 10. Brenda makes a mistake. Eric's split with Brenda has really taken its toll on him, leaving him not just emotionally drained but also struggling to keep up with day-to-day tasks. It's clear he's having a tough time managing things on his own, and when Carrie picks up on this, she decides to step in and lend a hand. Her offer to help with the housework is just her way of being kind, but for Eric, it's a much-needed lifeline. He's grateful to have someone around, even if it's just to tackle the things he's finding hard to manage himself. But things take an unexpected turn when Brenda happens to overhear them upstairs. Instead of understanding what's really going on, she completely misreads the situation, jumping to all the wrong conclusions. It's one of those cringe-worthy moments where assumptions spiral out of control, leaving Brenda embarrassed and furious at the same time. Meanwhile, Eric and Carrie are left to deal with the fallout, and you can't help but wonder if this misunderstanding will make things even more complicated for everyone involved. 11. Marlon despairs. Since April learned the truth about her mother's death from Ross, and discovered that her dad had been lying her whole life, she has been breaking boundaries at home. Next week, Marlon is in distress because his well-behaved daughter suddenly has a rebellious streak that he can't control. 12. Bob organizes a concert. A year after the heartbreaking loss of his son, Bob is still navigating the pain and grief, but he's determined to honor Heath's memory in a way that truly reflects who he was. Knowing how much Heath loved music, Bob decides to channel that love into something meaningful, a carol concert for the whole village. It's not just about marking the anniversary, it's about celebrating Heath's life and the joy he brought to everyone around him. For Bob, organizing this event feels like a way to keep his son's spirit alive and bring people together in a positive and heartfelt way. As he dives into planning the concert, Bob puts his heart into every detail, making sure it's something Heath would have been proud of. It's not just about the music, it's about creating a space where the community can come together, reflect, and remember. The carols serve as a reminder of Heath's passion for music, and for Bob, it's a way to turn his grief into something beautiful. It's a bittersweet moment, but one filled with love, hope, and the power of music to heal and bring people closer. And that's a wrap on the 12 huge spoilers coming to Emmerdale next week. With so much drama, heartbreak, and unexpected twists, it's shaping up to be an unforgettable week in the Dales. Which storyline are you most excited or nervous about? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button for all the latest updates, breakdowns, and spoilers from your favorite soap. Turn on notifications so you're the first to know when we drop new videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.